Ladies and gentlemen, we've got another clip here from Ben Shapiro. I'm Tall, the Traveling Clad, your favorite Zionist prince, white colonizer. Let's take a look at this clippity-doo.
And find the sliding fence that way. Face that way. Yes. Okay.
So, Ben, your argument was predicated entirely on Hamas. But thousands of Palestinians, including hundreds of minors and children, are being held hostage by Israel without any charge, with well-documentation of abuses, including sexual abuse, which Israel's own human rights organizations have reported. Hamas did not exist for decades after Israel's creation, and they're not in the West Bank. So, if you're going to be arguing about Hamas, how can we ignore that over 200 Palestinians have been killed, including over 40 children, making it the deadliest year for Palestinians in the West Bank before October 7th? That does not even include the killings happening now, just in 2023. So what justification do you have for that if Israel intends to, quote unquote, go after Hamas, is killing many people, especially children, under the justification of Hamas? So what justification do you have of them targeting the West Bank, even if we were to buy anything you said, which honestly I'm questioning?
Sure. So the casualties that have been incurred in the West Bank are prior to October 7th largely. There have been many since October 7th because there have been many conflagrations between the IDF and the Palestinian Authority and Islamic Jihad members in the West Bank. There's significant violence over the course of the early part of this year. There's a breakaway group from the Palestinian Authority. It's called the Lions. The Lions were a small terrorist cell, the Lions Den. They were committing acts of terror in places ranging from Jerusalem to areas of the West Bank. And the IDF was going in and making operational decisions to kill many terrorists in these areas. There are many areas in the West Bank that have been particularly infiltrated by terrorism. That the city of Jenin would be probably the example of the place that has been most infiltrated by terror groups. It's unfortunate, but Hamas is not the only terror group in the region. Palestinian Islamic Jihad is an excellent example of another terrorist group that has wide presence in the West Bank, more so actually than Hamas. There's a Palestinian Islamic Jihad rocket, obviously, that fell on that Gaza hospital. The entire world then tried to blame on Israel.
Okay, I'm allowed to respond, right? Okay. So if your entire argument, once again, is predicated on terror groups, what response do you have about the Great March of Return, which is a very well-documented incident where peacefully Palestinian civilians just marched to their own land that they have a right to go and return to, but they were killed, shot at, and murdered in cold blood?
What year are we talking about? Which group are we talking about? I need more specificity.
I'm talking about the Great March of Return.
I know, I'm asking for more specificity because I'm unaware of all the details of what you're speaking about.
So the Great March of Return is a well-documented instance where many Palestinians, after a tweet by a Palestinian, encouraged other Palestinians to go march peacefully back to their land.
Which land is theirs? What are we talking about?
We're talking about occupied Palestine.
Are you talking about in proper Israel? Where are we talking about? Like which areas?
We're talking about on the borders of Palestine, and we're also talking about their right to return to Palestine.
There is no right to return. If you're talking about in Palestine, if you're talking about the land that is inside the 67 borders, there is no right of return to Haifa. There's no right of return to Tel Aviv. There's no right of return to West Jerusalem.
So you have to remember that there are many, many, many elders who are older than the state of Israel. You have to remember that Palestine is not a Muslim land. You are equating this to a religious conflict. It's not. When Palestine, before it was occupied, you had Jews, Christians, and Muslims peacefully coexisting.
It's not true.
Palestine is not a Muslim homeland. It's a land that existed where many people that are alive to this day are older than the state of Israel.
So are you making the argument that any population of any time, all of their descendants now have a right to go back to the place that their great-great-great-great-great-grandfathers went?
Not great-great-great-grandfather. We have grandmothers.
Okay, grandmothers, grandfathers. Is that the idea that you can walk across the lines of any sovereign state and simply claim the place that you said that you had, even though you never established property rights, and say the Jordanian West Bank, or you abandon this place in Haifa? So your claim is that right now people get to walk across the border of a sovereign nation and simply set up shop in Haifa? This is your claim?
So even if we were to buy what you're saying, which is obviously not true, I encourage you to Google about the Great March of Return, which was a peaceful resistance against a wrongful occupation of Palestine. Even if you were to buy what you were
Can you just define wrongful occupation? Which part of Palestine is occupied?
You're not answering my question.
I mean, I'd like you to answer mine.
Terror groups. I gave you an example of peaceful resistance. I'll
Yes.
give you an example where people were wrongfully shot at, including children, and you still can't answer about why that's justified.
So, if again,
You keep talking about Hamas and terror groups, and you gave examples of other terror groups, even though I gave you examples of civilians who marched and were shot at. But even now, a few days ago, you had Palestinian people living in Israel proper, which is occupied Palestine, who are being shot at by farmers in their gardens and in their farms. And those people are being able to get away with shooting them with total impunity. So why is it that
that's not true. Many of those people have been arrested. They're all currently sitting in Israeli jail.
the settler that just shot at a Palestinian
Have been
farmer
arrested.
was not arrested? I encourage you to look into this.
I did look into this morning, and can I please get one answer before you leave, because this is an interesting conversation. Which part of Israel is occupied Palestine?
All of Israel?
There we go. There we go. There we go. So what you're calling for is the obliteration of the state of Israel, and all of this is just a cover for that. I appreciate your time.
I mean, he's good. You got to give it to him. He's fucking good, baby. He's good. He's good. I still believe you need somebody like me in there to go, Uskut, Habibti. Uskut. Uskut. Ya ibn Haywan. Shut your fucking stupid mouth. What are you talking about? It's so retarded. These talking points are so fucking stupid. They're really so stupid. And this is just the one thing. This is the thing that Ben Shapiro can't do. And much respect for Ben Shapiro. Like, really, respect given. It's needed. He just can't do it because he's got to have the suit and he's got to be the nice, polite Jew and he's got to be the debater. You need somebody like me to make a point, to make a viral clip there with a suit. Also, I can put on a suit. I'll have a kafia on, though. And just say, shut your stupid mouth and look at the camera and say, every Palestinian watching right now, listen, make peace with us or else. That needs to be the messaging. That's it. Peace or else. Give up or else. Give up or probably death. That's just, it is what it is. Give up the armed resistance. Give it up right now. This great march of return that she's claiming about. Do I have, by the way, I just for moral clarity, do I have a right to march back to Baghdad right now where where grandparents were violently thrown out of? Yes? Please, somebody answer me. I'm an Arab, no? Aren't I an Arab Jew? I'm just an Arab Jew, no? I'm not a specific ethnicity. I'm just an Arab. Please, ladies and gentlemen, do I have a right to march to Gaza real quick and claim the land? I'd like to. I'm an Arab. Am I not allowed to? Wait. Are you telling me my religion stops me because I believe in Judaism? My religion does not allow me to go back to Palestine? Can I not go back to Baghdad right now and reclaim my grandparents' house they were violently thrown out of? Because the Iraqi government's not giving me a passport or citizenship anytime soon. I'm a descendant of refugees. They've got nothing else but this country. So where do I fit into that picture? Just trying to figure out where the hijabi Habibti can give us some clarification over what's going on here. I want to address one last thing that she said. If you're watching this video, if anybody ever tells you Hamas is not in the West Bank, send them this video or send them my channel. I have met Hamas in the West Bank, face to face. I've encountered them face to face, eyeball to eyeball. Not only are they in the West Bank, they are the most popular political and militant organization, terrorist group, inside of the West Bank. Not only do they exist in the West Bank, Judea-Samaria, they exist in East Jerusalem. There are neighborhoods in East Jerusalem that Hamas has infiltrated in. And so is Fatah. And so is the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. They all exist in all parts of Palestine because you keep trying to remove Palestinianism from Islamism, from jihadism, from Hamas. It's all part of the same ecosphere. If you see Gazans rejecting Hamas in Gaza right now, it's only because they're losing. It's only because the Hamasniks are fucking fat motherfuckers and the other Gazans are maybe a little bit skinnier. I'm not even going to say that they're skinny. A little bit skinnier, and they want to be as fat as them. And so they reject them because they're stealing their food. I promise you right now, hand on my heart, if there was another terrorist group called Hamas that was more successful and more capable than Hamas, and they practiced the same ideology of trying to murder Jews and destroy the state of Israel, every single Palestinian Gaza would say, Hurrah. Let's go with them. The ideology is Palestinian. The ideas are Palestinian. Don't believe me. Yasser Arafat, Mahmoud Abbas, Haj Amin al-Husseini. All the leaders of so-called Palestine, same fucking ideology. Haj Amin al-Husseini sat with Hitler. Haj Amin al-Husseini started the Mizrahi Jewish Nakba. There's nothing else to give you guys, ladies and gentlemen. I've tried looking at it. Are there good Palestinians? Absolutely. Are there Palestinians that don't want violence? Absolutely. Is it very hard to fucking find them? Absolutely. Absolutely, it is very hard to find them. And even if when you find them, it's hard to 100% know if they're telling the truth or not because they're not allowed to speak. They don't have a freedom of speech. You never know what they're saying, if it's right or wrong, or if it's true or false. They can't speak because of their own society and because of their own governments. Even Israeli Arabs, unfortunately, is very, very sad, but you can't 100% tell what their intentions are because their society might kill them for saying the right thing or the wrong thing. That's true. And that's a problem. But that's a bigger problem of Arab society as a whole. Step away from the crowd, step away from the rest of the school of fish, you get fucking killed for it. Step away from the flock of sheep, you get murdered for it. That's a problem. And that's supremacy. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you a long time. Goodbye, Klats. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.